Yo, what's up, Alex?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Alex, think fast. Yo, Alex, hop in real quick.
I will admit, I'm gonna admit it here on YouTube for you guys. My hands are not that strong. They're kind of small, actually. I can never like palm a basketball in my life, even though I played a lot of basketball. That's the truth. In this video here, we're gonna be talking about something a little bit different from my paper hands. Even though I do have paper hands, I am gonna ride this dip up with more Ethereum than I had before, even though that's a reality. I think, and I've said this time and time again in every single one of my videos, but people, for some reason, decided not to listen to this. They just decided to omit this from their brain for some reason. I am still bullish. I told you that, but I'm not stupid. I said this like multiple times. I screamed it on Twitter. Oh man, if you guys have not followed me on Twitter, you're doing something wrong. I've been snapping consistently on all my haters. This is a public platform to me to snap. It's great. I want to just make the case for this bullish scenario because things are happening in the backgrounds that we can't even anticipate. And let me just lay it out on the line for you. I thought you guys wanted to make money. I'm just gonna be honest. I thought you guys just wanted to make money. That's why I provide opportunities to make money. That's my goal. My goal is not to just hold through everything thick and thin when the market can crash. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. And you know, if you wanted somebody to hype you up about losing your money, this is not the channel for you. This channel right here is the real deal, no spiel. And the realness is that I am in this to accumulate more cryptocurrency by any means necessary, regardless of people's emotions on the internet, regardless of my emotions of, oh, I could be wrong the moment bull market continues. My goal is to completely separate emotion from the trade. Hence why I've been trading the dip. And I want to be clear with you guys. I can show you physically. I don't care. I have 800 people in my group that see my public address that shows every single trade I have made. I have accumulated Ethereum on this dip. My portfolio is fatter in cryptocurrency terms on this dip. And now when we go to the moon, I will have more money to make. I'll have more crypto to make money, guys. And the bull run's not over. So again, I just want to be very clear, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel,
you gotta hold it. Just hold it. Just hold the dip. Just hold it forever. I'm rich and I make money off of YouTube.
So I don't have to worry about my crypto, but I'm going to tell everybody else that has all their money in crypto to just hold the dip. That's what I'm not going to do that. Most of these influencers or YouTubes have other streams of income. I do myself as well, but I understand that a lot of you have invested all your money into this, and I refuse to sit there and tell you to just ride it out forever and not think about it and just close your eyes. No, I'm not going to do that. And I bet you money some of these crypto guys sold their crypto, but they didn't want to say it publicly because of whatever publicity they're going to run into. We don't accept sponsorships on this channel. And I like to keep everything I say down to earth. Truth, honest, integrity is my best policy. Let's jump into the video. So as you can see here on the screen, first they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. They're laughing. And then they fight you. They have been fighting us for the past couple months or so. And this FUD is absolutely ridiculous. And that's going to be the main topic of discussion here. This recent dip that we've been experiencing, right? This recent dip we've been experiencing is primarily FUD-based, not true, and pretty much everything is like fake, and they're attacking us. They're fighting us right now. The banks, they don't want Bitcoin to have control over the world. They want to have control of the world like they've been having for the past 100 years. Let me just go into a couple of things. The first thing I want to show you guys is basically, it explains the dips, right, that we've had since the beginning of Bitcoin. Now, the reason why everything you'll see here is probably going to be in terms of Bitcoin is just simply the fact that Bitcoin moves the market. They have the most institutional adoption, they have the most ATMs, they have the most derivatives exchanges trading Bitcoin. Pretty much everything's tied to Bitcoin. So when you see like massive liquidations, it's usually BTC, right? So long story short, This explains that there's been only like 1 or 2 times where there's been a dip that's bigger than the one we experienced recently. At the end of the day, if you would have sold that dip the first time, you'd still be up, right? Around 2013, first top was $259. If you would have bought $600 worth of BTC at the top, you'd have enough to buy a Tesla Model S, right? So the point is, guys, at the end of the day, like, even though I'm trading this, I don't want to scare everybody. And this is why I'm making this video. It doesn't matter as long as you didn't put all of your money into the market, as long as you took responsibility and didn't just go all in and invest things that you couldn't afford to lose. You should be straight 99% of the time, as long as you wait it out. This is a long-term game. And pretty much, like, if you just stick it out for a couple of years, you're going to win. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. You could just leave your money there and you're probably going to win. Now, Bitcoin's progress bar, how far is it? It's interesting because there's about 2.5 trillion worth of gold captured by financial instruments, but the real cap is about 9 trillion to 11 trillion. So if we get there, we're going to land, with Bitcoin about a 4x to 17x. So again, still asymmetrical bet. Bitcoin's still better than any other, investment vehicle. A lot of people are coming out and physically saying that they still rather be in Bitcoin, even with this dip, than, the United States dollar, because at least it's real. At least you can see exactly how much you're losing. With the United States dollar, the purchasing power is decreasing and nobody knows what's going on. So, again, this is probably how markets really should work, right? Without artificial inflation, there probably should be these massive dips, these massive down draws. Because in real life, think about your life. You're up sometimes and you're down sometimes. That's just the way it goes. Nothing just goes up consistently over time forever. And being that this is an unmanipulated, okay, so let me just be clear, because everybody's, oh, well, there's whales manipulating the market. That is true. But in traditional finance, there's whales manipulating the market. Plus, they're controlling the monetary supply. There's just so much more manipulation in traditional finance. The only thing in Bitcoin that's happening is that the people with the large amounts of money they're going to manipulate you. They're going to like dump on you. They're going to try to make money, just like they do in traditional finance. This happens in traditional finance as well. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. Now, there's another thing I want to show you here. Bitcoin after third halving. This is really interesting because the top part of this cloud right here, this blue cloud, is after the first halving. This bottom part is the second halvings. This is Bitcoin's price in both situations. The orange line is Bitcoin today. And then this blue line here is a combination of the first halving and a second halving. So pretty much in every situation, if you compare it to previous halvings, we are only about halfway there. You can clearly see it right there. No matter which way you cut it, we are only about halfway there. I just want to be clear with people. Long-term sentiment is great for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I will continue to accumulate, hence what I've been doing with my trades. I put too much company reserve. I had money on the sidelines, but I have to pay employees. I have payroll. My payroll is like almost 6 figures. I have to pay payroll, so I couldn't just dump my payroll money into the market. So what I did, I made more money by trading the dip. Some of you guys don't have money to put back into the market. This is where you could trade the dip. And for short-term capital gains tax, as long as your trades are profitable, it doesn't matter. The 20% is off the top of profit. I know people were literally held because they didn't want to pay short-term capital gains tax. That's absolutely ridiculous. So you rather lose 40% of your money rather than paying 20% of profit. Doesn't make sense. It just really highlights how people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They're basing everything off emotions, guys. Have a strategy. I say this every time. Have a strategy. Stop waiting for people to tell you what to do, man. Just stop doing that. If you just do that one thing right there, you're going to make way more money, and it's going to force you to learn. A lot of you guys are not learning because all you're doing is following people. Guys, if you want to see me rant, go follow me on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter. So let's go over some of this news. So if you guys didn't know what's going on, there's just FUD after FUD. The top came in for Ethereum. We rejected off the all-time high. Basically, Vitalik Buterin moving the Shiba Inu to another wallet. He basically gave it as a donation. That like kind of rejected off the top of Ethereum's all-time high because people thought he rug pulled. Then there was another news event where Tesla and Elon Musk basically stopped accepting Bitcoin. Then there was just FUD after FUD. China had like FUD that they were going to ban Bitcoin. Then they officially banned Bitcoin. Then there was more FUD about regulation. There was just FUD after FUD after FUD. And I just wanted to kind of point this out to you guys because then the market starts turning back around when Elon Musk comes over here talking about, oh, I spoke with North American Bitcoin miners. They committed to publish current and planned renewable usage. Basically, he's saying that they're trying to get renewable energy. And this guy's been going on a rant, man. He's talking about Dogecoin. He's trying to get more developers for Dogecoin. And it's crazy because it just really shows how small this market is, where this one guy can really like manipulate the top and manipulate the bottom just with his tweets. It's ridiculous. And I just wanted to point one thing out to you because Elon Musk wants to basically scale Dogecoin. That's his goal. He wants to become the world currency. He wants to make it faster. And then there was Vitalik Buterin kind of responding to him, showing him that it's not possible. with his current thoughts and basically explains the limitations of, computer power will stop people from, having a truly crazy decentralized. Basically, long story short, Vitalik Buterin has been working on this for way longer, and he put him in his place. Okay, and you can read it for yourself. It was really interesting. He actually came out with the whole entire report that you can read right here. And Vitalik.ca, he literally wrote this whole thing up. It's very complex, very long. Go ahead and read it for yourself, guys, so you understand what's going on. It's just really interesting to see kind of like big giants, like, going back and forth with each other and moving the whole freaking market. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the manipulation that's going on right now. So a couple other things. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, again, like I've been calling this stuff. And we recently broke out of a trend. So if you can see here, this is the all-time high. This is the total market capitalization of all crypto. We made this trend here to the downside, and we tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've been making buy and sell calls basically off this trend. Been able to catch the bottom because of it. Yesterday, if you saw on my Twitter, I basically said, hey, look, we're coming up to test it again, and I'm not going to sit this one out. So I went all in with USD. If you've been following me, all in. I have no fiat on the sidelines. I have it all in Ethereum and some other altcoins. We tested it, broke through, and hence why Ethereum went up like 10% today, depending on when you're watching this video. Now, the next test right here is 1.85 trillion. Now, we're looking at the total market capitalization, guys, because it's the biggest index chart in all of cryptocurrency. Basically, what I've been looking at, if you've been following my videos, is the total 2, BTC USDT and ETH USDT, and they all look really good. Again, I am bullish fundamentally, but if we reject off of the $1.84 trillion mark right here, then there's not a bad idea to sell it and then get back in right here. If we make support on this line, get back in. This is massive trades right here, especially if you're trading with large amounts of money. Look, that's a 17% trade. If you do that with your whole portfolio, that's big bucks right there. 19% trade on the upside. So if you do this accurately, you can get a little, 17% on the downside and then a 19% on the upside. It's like almost 40%, guys. Now, I don't do this all the time. I just want to be very clear. I don't do this all the time. I'm mostly an investor. Like the big ones, like Polygon, I invested in like 14 months ago. I got into Link when it wasn't Link. I got into a lot of these big coins that you guys have been talking about a long time ago. I'm an investor at heart. But at the same time, you have to adapt, right? Because let's say this was the end of the bull run. A lot of you have been twiddling your thumbs, okay? A lot of you have been sitting there on your hands, not knowing what to do, while I would have been scooping up all the deals all the way down here. I would have been scooping them all up with all that fiat I just made. So my love for crypto extends to the fact that my goal is to accumulate so much, and I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm not going to be emotionally attached to this market. It's not going to happen, okay? You have to separate all emotions. Let's bring it to the juicy part of this video, okay? So when in doubt, zoom out. Facts. If you guys feel down and out about your money, let's just take a look at the BLX, okay? The BLX is basically, it's just an accumulative of all the Bitcoin data all the way back to its inception, and it's the biggest Bitcoin chart we have, so you should definitely study it. So let's look at past dips or whatever the case is. There was one dip before halving, like when we just started. I probably don't take this too much into consideration considering how new it is, but this dip was 93%. And then if we come over here, if we look at after the halving in 2012, you can see that we had a major spike of 2,000%. You can see right here. And then there was a dip of 75.53%. You guys see that right there? Kind of looks similar to what's going on right now. Massive dip. And then right after that, we had another 16 or 1,700% increase to the upside. And then the end of the bull run, stopped with an 86% dip. Okay. It's not dip. I guess you could say it's a crash, whatever you want to call it. Now, if we look at the second halving, okay, and these are the halving dates, we had a major run up of about 3,000%, which looks really similar to this. It's a little bit less than the cumulative of this and this. 3,000%. And then we had a little bit of minor dips in between. We had a 32% loss, 36% loss, 29% loss. It's nothing out of ordinary, guys. What's happening right now, it happened before, and it's not too far off than this. And to be honest with you, there's more manipulation now because of the whales that have come in. The institutional guys that have been coming in, they're making it harder for us, I will admit, right? They're able to collaborate and move larger amounts of money than we've ever seen before. It's just a new ball game now. It's just a completely new game. You should definitely take that in consideration. So happening now, we went up only 652%. Not only that, but look at the time frame too. We're still it's a very small time frame in comparison to the others. I genuinely think in comparison to this time frame, this one was quick. I will say that. This one was way quicker. But in comparison to this one, we should have a little bit more time left. It's 518 days to the top. We're only about 336 days to the top. Being that it's larger amounts of money, I think with the law of diminishing returns, the larger amounts of money, the longer it's going to take for the cycle to end. I still believe that. Also, look at the volume. not too much decreasing. Doesn't really give me any confidence that the bull run's over until I see like large amounts of volume on the red side, even in the green side as well. So I don't know. Personally, like when you zoom out like this, it just looks a lot better. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Look, only a 53% dip. We had a 75% dip over here. And then we rose to the moon, shortly after that. So I don't know who sees. Personally, again, like I said, I'm bullish. I'm just going to stay bullish. Here's another reason. Bitcoin hasn't even reached the popularity it reached in 2017. Not even close. So I think it has a lot of room to grow. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that. Let's see, 2004. You could see this is basically Google search, people searching the cryptocurrency. So it shows like interest in general. We had small demand. And then look, this is 12, this is 100. It's about a 10x difference. And there was about a 10x difference in price as well. 10 times the amount of people are searching it. Right now, we're not even halfway there. We're not even halfway there. The reason why it looks like the end is because Ethereum, I think we doubled on Ethereum. Like if we just type Ethereum right here, right? Let's type in the top right here. Yeah, see, we doubled on Ethereum. So Ethereum had just a little bit of quicker run. But in terms of Bitcoin, I don't think it's over. And look, we're still spiking, right? Look how big this is. So it should on Ethereum be about 10 times more. And I genuinely think on Bitcoin, maybe 5 to 10 times more as well, which shows another sign it's not over. It's not over. Let's look at some other positive news. If we look at Raw Paul, this was really interesting. Something to get your head around. Okay. A major asset class crashed 42% in 14 days, wiping out $1 trillion in value, and an orgy of liquidation of people up to 100x leverage with very low regulation. Many tokens fell 70%, including unregulated lending and borrowing biz, which is really interesting. Basically, what he's explaining to you is that we had this massive liquidation, this massive loss. There was no daisy chains of collateral losses. There were no collateral pressure. Stablecoins remained stable. A few exchanges went down for an hour or two. No exchange big losses occurred. Basically, he's showing all the positives. You guys can read it for yourself. Right? Go to his Twitter. And it's really true. It is true because if this market was basically not ready, I would say, we would have seen a lot worse with this massive crash. It would have been way worse in the grand scheme of things. And there was a lot of good things to look at with DeFi and everything like that. But let's look at some other bullish news with Kevin OLeary. We're going to watch this together with Pompliano. He's the man. Definitely go follow him on YouTube. I like his podcast. He's definitely consistent. I like his professionalism. Let me put on my headphones really quickly so we can watch this together and I'll comment on it.
So when you go into DeFi, what exactly are you guys doing? You're taking Bitcoin that you own and Ether and earning
Here's what
interest?
I want, Pomp, okay? I'm an investor. So there must be many other investors like me. I've made my decision to 3 to 5% allocation.
Mm-hmm.
Probably as you snuck out of me, I'm going to be moving it up because you're right. Gold's not doing anything for me. And
3 plus 5 is 8, not 5.
Well,
so you could get rid of all the gold.
It could get to 10. It could get to 10.
All right.
But we're bound by certain covenants just in how we manage the operating company.
10, I feel like, is on the upper bound of most conservative investors, right? So it still fits within the kind of bands, if you will. If you're a conservative investor, most of your focus is outside of crypto.
Yeah.
1 to 10% is kind of the band.
10's up there, Pomp.
5%
10
is
up there.
Institutional investor, 10 is up
10 is big time. He's not playing no games.
up there.
Yeah, of course.
Right now, that number for the big guys is 3%. They're happy and they want Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't gotten past that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin is the property, the digital asset they want. And they want
It's a store of value.
Store of value.
Yeah.
And you've been right on that. Can't deny that. Okay. It's a volatile.
Whoa, we might have to roll the tape back
I
there.
may have to erase that. But my whole point is it has inherent volatility. But imagine, so here's my thoughts about DeFi. Okay, I've got the vol. I know I'm going to be up and down 38% a year. That's what it's been historically, right? So we're seeing that. We've had a crazy vol right here.
We're literally recording this on a day that it's been down 40% in a month.
Okay, so let's say in my case, my DeFi company, of which I'm a large shareholder now, I say to the guys, look, let's put a bunch of crypto on our balance sheet. All right, I'm going to own a third of that balance sheet or whatever I own of the balance sheet. I want you to loan that out and get me between a 4.5% and an 8% yield. Now, of course, I have to mark to market the change in value because it's going up and down, but I'm kind of agnostic because I'm owning it as property. I don't really care because it's an allocation. Let's say it's 5%. It's going to stay at 5. I'll change it every quarter, adding or taking away from it. But I want you to loan it out there. So the whole operation, the DeFi operation, is to start doing these contracts for me on an AI basis. So it can go look to the
Interesting.
market, see what the spreads
Talking about his own DeFi project is really, really interesting, guys. Pay attention. This is really bullish. This is why Ethereum is getting more interest right now.
are on all these different opportunities. I don't want to get too complicated with it.
It's,
But
it's basically yield farming. What you guys are going to
exactly.
do is yield farming.
And then others that are interested, like I am, on taking their asset, and imagine if I could have, over these years, had a 5% yield on my gold. That would have been incredible. Well, I can on my crypto. So that's really what I'm doing in DeFi. And I think I've got the best team in North America. Everybody says that, but I'm backing this team because I've done a lot of due diligence on them. And I think, in the next few months, that will become part of our portfolio with a yield metric to it. So,
because what you're basically saying is you're going to keep the assets denominated in the asset, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, just for easy things, you have 100 ETH. You put that in, you want 8%. So now you're going to end the year with 108 ETH.
staying in ETH.
Regardless of
I'm
did the
not going
price
back
go
to
up or
fiat.
down.
I might go back to fiat to just pay some expenses, but I'm going to stay in ETH on that balance sheet. And you as a shareholder, go with me in the share price as my assets grow.
Do you think that
He's selling his company, guys. This guy's funny.
because this is a really important piece that I think the traditional world hasn't woken up to yet? Sounds like you're now getting there. Is once you leave fiat into crypto,
Yeah.
you don't go back.
I don't want to go back.
Okay.
Did you not hear that, guys? He doesn't care if the price dumps. He doesn't want to go back.
Why
Why?
would I?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. How do you think about it, right? So you've got 100% of your assets. You've said, I'm going to take 3, I'm going to put it into crypto.
Yeah.
Maybe that goes up, maybe it doesn't, whatever. But let's just say it's 3 to 5%, whatever the allocation is. Once you put that into crypto, why are you not going back into fiat?
Well, the reason I would come back out, let's say our covenant is a max on 10, which most institutions, that is max arena.
Okay. All right. So 10 is the max
Yeah,
allocation to
because
crypto.
because if you're going, you basically, if you have LPs or you have other shareholders or you have
This man's saying LPs. He's deep into DeFi, liquidity provide. He's saying LP. Wow.
other constituents, you've told them you have a covenant of diversification and it might be 10%, whatever it is, but it's not much higher than that. So when you get to 12% at the end of a quarter in your crypto, you're going to trim back to fiat. You're going to go back to 10%, or maybe, and then you just sit in the weeds waiting for correction and you buy back up to 10%. I've been buying, like I've been.
You bought the dip.
Well, it's not really a dip. It's maintaining the 3% weighting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying the dip in the price.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But to me, it's okay. We're 2.4 and we said we're at 3. Buy up to 3 because we've had a correction. You can't call that's a correction. We just had.
Well, I mean, look, in 2017, there was 6 over 30%, I think, right? There was 2 40% drawdown. So it doesn't feel good, right?
No,
when
nobody
the asset
likes it.
draws down, but it's not atypical for the kind of historical bull runs,
Right.
Which, again, if you tell in the traditional world, hey, there's going to be 2 40% drawdowns, but you're going to go up 20x in a year, they're like, I'm out.
Well,
right?
they don't like that
I'm out
volatility.
of this.
but in this case, you end up with more coin after that correction, and then you're out loaning it out, and you're getting and with that volatility, you just got 200 basis points more yield. People don't understand vol is good for yield. It's not good for your stomach.
Yep.
But it actually helps you mine yield from your crypto. And so when you
That's very true. Very true. People buying and selling quick, mine yield.
understand those smart contracts and how it's being loaned out, and I'm getting way more sophisticated. So I look at it now with my team saying, okay, you could even put leverage on this if you want, which we don't. But I think that's a crazy chicken move. But you could really goose your yields.
Why are you only targeting 4.5 to 8%? Some of these can pay 20%
I know,
or
but
30%.
what's your duration? What duration?
Well, that's what I'm asking you,
Yeah.
right? Is it just you're saying, hey, I want to be able to earn the 4.5 to 8% forever, and the 20 to 30% is only there for a couple of weeks or a couple of months? Like, how do you think about yield versus duration?
So what we don't have is a long history of what that curve on duration looks like. You just don't have it. We're all pioneers in this. And because I'm a bond guy, I've been a bond guy for decades. And so what I look at is duration and quality. You can't work with that yet. We don't know. So I said, look, let's keep our contracts short. Let's understand the change in the deltas. Let's understand, how inefficient the market is when there's a lot of volatility. Let's just gather our own data. Keep our powder dry. Let's only loan out 50% of our positions until we understand how it works. And I should also disclose I'm working with some of the larger corporate DeFi guys. I've opened accounts to manage some of my company's balance sheets. I'm putting up to 5% of our fiat currency into a strategy like this on our balance sheets. I don't talk about that too much, but I'm letting you know. I'm saying, guys, we're in, let's say I have an operating company. It's sitting with, $30 million in cash. Let's put $1.5 million into this strategy. We'll open an account. You'll understand how it works. You're the treasury. Let me show you how it works, how I'm doing it. Let's disclose to, if they're private, we just have to disclose to our LPs what we're doing. I haven't anybody said to me, no, I don't want that. Everybody wants to learn. So instead of making nothing on our cash, which we're basically under inflation, we're losing money on our cash. We're picking up, we're doing better than 4.5. That was a few weeks ago when coin was very stable. Now, like today, you can get 7, 8, 9, as you know. So it's not impossible.
I've seen some with 20, but like you said, it's not long-term sustainable to have 20% yield. I think it's like, what he's saying, like 5 to 10% is usually what you're getting with cryptocurrency lending and stuff like that.
And so I think it's
why only put 5% of the company's assets? Why not do more if it's just yield? You're not taking the price risk necessarily in terms of that's the goal.
Because the compliance departments are all in that. Let's tiptoe in. You know the concern. It really is a 3% number right now. There are some at 5, but here's the thing that everybody should understand. That because I live in this world, the potential is huge. You've got less than 1% of global corporations even thinking about crypto right now. So as time passes and they see examples of what I'm doing and others are doing, and they start to tiptoe in, you're talking about billions of dollars that are sitting on balance sheets making nothing. And so it's going to become, that's good and bad news, because the more money goes into that, the less yield you're going to be making. There's going to be a lot of competition. And so, but right now I'm tiptoeing through the tulips, almost double digit.
All right, look, we're not going to go through the rest of this. It's self-explanatory. Go watch the whole video on his podcast. I like watching his stuff. Look, guys, you feel down and out, if you lost money, whatever the case is, you sold the bottom, get back in. That's up to you, of course. But at the end of the day, I don't think this bull run's over. That's just my personal opinion. I'm going to go on a run. I'm going to go get my mental health in order. Think about other things rather than cryptocurrency sometimes, guys. It can really, really pay off big time, where you can separate your emotions from pretty much everything. I'm going to end this video here. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. And definitely follow me on Twitter. And yes, I know who my real followers are now. I know who the real ones are. I see you. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.